All right, welcome back. All right, behind me is our 1985 300ZX that we just got. It doesn't run, so I know I got to replace the fuel pump, and then we got to figure out what else is wrong with it. So right now we're just going to get it off the tow dolly and pull it into the shop and start working on the fuel tank, drop the fuel tank. Hopefully I can push this thing by myself. All right, we may need some assistance. Look, the shocks work. How do we get ether inside this thing? Some starting fluid. So highlights about this car: it's got new tires. They're at least a year old. And then we have a new battery. Looks like we got a fuel pump. And that's about it. It looks to be mostly complete, but a lot of it's torn apart. And it's got T-tops. All right, now I know this is gonna work. We need to move our camera angle. We didn't like that. Okay, we're in. Okay, got her on the charger, got her jacked up, and we need to remove the fuel tank. Oh. So it doesn't look too bad. I've got to take off this strap right here, and we got to take this one off right here. Fuel lines over there, and then our filler neck we're gonna have to take off. And it looks like someone's already taken this off because the mud guard is missing. Okay, fuel tank's out. This thing is full of fuel. I didn't use the jack. I just let it down on my chest. The only thing that was difficult was, this is pretty rigid, was getting that down. I kind of had to slide it around a little bit. I left the lines long on here. I pulled this completely out before I dropped the tank. So now, let's figure out what's going on with our fuel pump here. I'm pretty sure it's bad. Oh, and I think this fuel is like 1,000,000 years old too. The guy I bought it from said he only had it for a year, but I guess he didn't fill up with fuel in that year. Maybe he did, but it's bad. This hose was messed up. This tank's been out before, as I mentioned earlier, with the the missing bolts and everything. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if we can modify a fuel pump from a Chevy truck. Oh, this looks terrible. This fuel looks absolutely nasty. I'm going to have to do a lot of extra cleaning on the thing. Oh, yeah, you can see it's full of fuel. It's all the way up to the top. So we're going to have to pump that out. Let's get this thing apart and get everything all cleaned up and see if we can make it run again. Oh, I probably need to drain all this fuel out and clean this tank. Look at this. Okay, we're about to do our first test with the Chevy fuel pump. I've got the fuel pump in the tank, submerged in the fuel, hooked up to our pressure line here, and then I've got makeshift power run to there. As long as it doesn't spark too much and, you know, light me up. I don't know which one's positive on here, so this is why we're doing this. And this one, okay. So, this side with the leg on it is positive. Okay. So this side right here is negative. And this side right here with the little leg right there, that's positive. As you can see, when I hook it up, don't spark it too much, I'll probably die. There's the fuel coming out. So, okay, that's enough of that. Let's get this cleaned up and all put together. Okay, here we go. It's dark, but I did manage to get the pump and everything together. I didn't clean it very well. I sprayed some muriatic acid on there to get all the major stuff on there, but it's still not right. Anyway, I still got to put the fuel sock on, but I did manage to use the existing wires, and I soldered those onto the terminals of the GM fuel pump, or the GM replacement fuel pump. I had to extend this hose, so this is probably about 6 inches. And these, I think the sock is going to work right where it's at. So, but what I would really recommend is getting the actual plug for this. So I just bought a replacement pump, and it didn't come with the pigtail, so I had to utilize the Nissan stuff. So for your reference, right, the black with a white stripe is positive, and that is on this side of the pump. So if you're looking at the plug here, right, it's on, the positive is on this side, okay? And then the other black is obviously the ground. Now, in here, that's going to be these 2 pins right here. So you got black with white stripe and black. This other pin, I don't know if this was the original harness that came with the Z or what, but this goes to nothing. So I guess it terminates inside this loom somewhere. I don't know where. But let's see if I can pull this back. Yeah, I don't know. It terminates in there somewhere. It doesn't go to anything. So, with that being said, we are about to stick this in there, and we can hook it up, and then we can do a test, make sure everything works. All right, here we go. Let's put this in here and see if we can get this thing to run. We'll test it, and then I'll get that sock for the fuel pump. Let's run it in our pan real quick. So like I was saying, black with white stripe is positive. And then there's our fuel. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to change this line out and I'll run it from here. Okay. All right. Clampy guy. And this is 5/16 fuel hose. I hear it coming through the can, and I also see it leaking up front. Oh gosh, what the heck's going on up there? Let's see where our fuel leak's at. All right, so we spotted fuel, and it's coming where? Right at our fuel filter. Great, whoever put this one. Oh, that fuel's so nasty. Okay. It looks like it's leaking right there at the fuel filter, so we need to tighten that up. Okay, that one's relatively tight. Let's see about this one. All right, let's fire it up and see if it leaks again. All right. Should we try and start it? Let's see if it'll run. Nope, it's still leaking. There we go. Judging by the way that fuel looks, we need to change that filter too. But let's see if it'll run. Well, that's not a good sign. Let's give it a little help. We're not getting fuel. Okay, it's got fuel going to the rail, so that means the injectors just are not firing, or worst case scenario, they're clogged up. Got the Noid light. Now I just have to, I just have to be able to see it while I'm cranking. I don't see those injectors firing at all. How do I have spark and not fuel? No, it's not firing the injectors. Okay, so let me do some troubleshooting there and figure out what's going on. All right, I got the computer out. I took both covers off to see if I could find anything, wrong. And of course I did. So if you look right here, this whole tracer on this circuit board is completely broke off. So we need to repair that. This one looks like it's burnt. Okay, maybe it's just maybe it's just the coating. And then this one right here has definitely got some corrosion and stuff on it, so we'll clean that up and resolder it. And this is all bubbling up, so I'm wondering if there's something inside of there. So I did a pinout test, and this tracer right here goes to, I believe, 114, which is our 12 volts inputs for the injectors, which the problem we're having right now is the injectors aren't firing. So let me run a new wire to here and then resolder this right here and see if that works. Alright, so I made the bridge for this one, and then I resoldered this one, and I tried to clean up this one, but it's like connected to nothing. So, and it's all burnt and charred, and I don't know if this is connected to this. It looks like it should be, right? It looks like it should be connected right here because of the way that this turns up right in there. But really, I don't know. So I'm gonna I'm gonna separate the boards and see what this is. Like if it's a capacitor or, you know, whatever the hell it is. Okay, so I figured out what it is. It is a big resistor. So this resistor right here looks like it got extremely hot, and that's why it bubbled to the other side. And then of course it's supposed to be connected to something on the other side of this board right here. And then I also found this transistor. It looks like it's completely burnt in half. Let's see what that went to. Okay, so I removed this resistor here, and I removed this one right here, and I cleaned up as best I could the areas. Let's see if I can get some light in there. There we go. So I got R705 is the white one here, and then I think it's R703. I can't really tell. So this right here is where it burned through. So when we get the new resistor, somehow we're gonna have to attach this side to this part of the board, and hopefully we can look and figure out exactly where it goes. It looks like it might go part of this transistor here. And this piece right here doesn't look like it went anywhere. It wasn't connected to anything, at least I hope not, because I can't see it going anywhere. It just terminates there at the end. If we look on the other side, there's nothing through there. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to order these parts, and then I still need to get this transistor out, like I just disintegrated it by touching it. Still gotta get that out, clean it all up, and look for some more issues. But I'm gonna have to pause this video and order parts.